All right. Sophie, can you hear me?
Yep.
Good. Okay. This is Sophie Vrankovich. She's a friend and a follower of Farm Fresh and Active. Sophie, can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Yep. So I'm a full-time nanny for four girls. I recently got married and I live in an apartment currently and we're just trying to figure out life pretty much.
Okay, good. So you're married. How old are you?
I'm 20.
Good. And where are you? Where do you
Uh,
live?
Elkton, Maryland.
Okay. Uh, do you have kids?
No kids.
No kids. Cats don't count. And so you're a nanny for four girls. Is that every day?
uh, 4 days a week.
4 days a week. Is it all day, nights?
It's from 6:30 in the morning to 4 p.m.
Okay. And does your husband have the same kind of schedule? What is that dynamic like?
His schedule is pretty crazy sometimes. Like he'll have to wake up at like 1 or 2 in the morning sometimes, and then some days he'll work from like 3 a.m. to 6 p.m., or some days he'll work from like 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. So it's different all the time.
Okay. So you guys, how do you find the meal times at your house go? Are you guys on the go a lot? Do you sit down and eat meals together?
I'd say it's good mixture of everything. Like we'll have a week where it's pretty on the go, and then we'll have some days where it's pretty like easygoing and we'll be able to sit down and eat dinner. Most times we try and like eat dinner together, but definitely not breakfast and lunch together.
Okay, good. So what do you guys do for fun?
Um, let's see. We like to be outdoors a lot, but we also like to sit around and play PlayStation too.
Okay.
We do a lot of like activities with other people. So there are times where we're like pretty like, we're going out a lot or going out to eat and that kind of stuff.
Would you guys say that you exercise or not
Um,
a pretty
hi
active lifestyle?
I'd say our lifestyle is not my husband's lifestyle is probably more active than mine because he's like his work he is involved with like a lot of physical activity. So because mine is a lot more stationary, I try and work out a little bit, but not a ton. I wouldn't consider myself a pro workout person.
Okay. Not a fan of workout.
No.
Um, okay, so what is your current diet like? Do you cook at home? Do you eat out a lot? What kinds of foods do you eat?
So we, I would consider us to be like averagely healthy. Like we try and eat a lot more fresh foods and try and look at what we eat a little bit more, but we do enjoy Oreos and that kind of stuff, and we like to eat out. And when we do eat out, we're definitely not eating healthy when we eat out.
So
Like
you say you're averagely healthy. In your opinion, what does that mean?
Like we aren't like we don't eat a lot of like processed food and all that stuff. Like we try and like eat more like we're gonna get like fresh chicken or something like that. Like not like like those like chicken nuggets that you heat up in the freezer for dinner, like that kind of stuff. Like I'd buy like chicken from the butcher or something, or from like a grocery store, and make like grilled chicken or something like that. Or like we try and like watch to make sure that we're not eating a ton of like frozen processed meals and that kind of stuff. Like we like try and eat like more vegetables from the produce section and like all that stuff. Does
Okay.
that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Do you so you does your husband cook or do you cook?
I cook. My husband can't boil water properly. And if he's in charge of dinner, then it's pizza.
Mm. So, what are your favorite restaurants? Like, what kind of stuff if you're out to eat, what kinds of things are you eating?
Pasta.
Pasta.
Well, we like to eat at Cheesecake Factory. We like pizza and that kind of stuff. I wouldn't say, but we don't eat out like as much as we do like since we've gotten married. Like when we were dating and stuff, we were definitely eating out like a ton.
Mm,
But now that we are married and like I can like make my own food and that kind of stuff, we try and eat in more. But when we do eat out, it's like Cheesecake Factory and we'll get like fettuccine alfredo and cheesecake, or we'll go to like a sandwich shop like Arenas or something.
good. Okay. So what I know that you follow Farm Fresh and Active, and you've talked to me personally about paleo. Have you ever tried going paleo?
We didn't try going pale. Does the 30-day challenge count?
So you mean the whole 30?
Yeah, the whole 30.
Yeah, that's what I just finished doing for the month of January. So the whole 30 is the strict paleo diet, basically trying to teach you how to revision food. It's in a
Yeah.
different way. Um, so yeah, I guess the whole 30 would count as the paleo diet intro. How did you do with the whole 30?
Terribly.
Did you make
I
it 30 days?
No, I think I made it 3 days and my husband Brad made it like maybe two and a half.
Okay, so why?
I think we were trying too hard. Like I think we've talked about like restarting that and redoing it, but I think our failure problem before was because we were trying too many like substitute recipes, and
Mm,
we were trying to like, instead of having bread, we would try and like make some sort of like paleo bread, and like it got really expensive, and like we were wasting too much time on like how can we make this like a real meal.
mhm,
Whereas like we've talked about doing it now, and it's like we actually do eat a lot of like meals that are paleo approved, like, grilled chicken and vegetables. Like we eat that's probably one of our like go-to meals. So like we've considered like redoing it, but going into it with a mindset of not like we did before, where we were just trying to like substitute everything and like trying to make like some sort of healthy dessert or something. And like it's
mhm,
funny because if we're eating like normal, we don't eat dessert every night. But like when I was paleo, it was like, no, what can we have that's sweet or something like that?
mm. Have you tried other diets in the past?
Um, no, not really.
You're pretty tiny.
Yeah. My dieting experience isn't really to lose weight. It's more so like I've tried exercising. Like that's not really a diet. That's just trying to work out. But
Yeah.
I've never really dieted to lose weight.
So what would you say you've dieted for?
Um, to feel better, I guess to feel healthier. Like when I was younger, I worked at a summer camp and I was really active and I just felt really good and I was eating better and all that stuff. And then the older I got and the less active I got and the less like, aware I became of eating like unhealthy foods,
Mm,
I I felt like I was draining myself, and like, I have a pretty like busy schedule, I think.
yeah.
And I've noticed that like on the weeks that we are really good about eating healthy, or that we're like we haven't eaten out a lot and we're, trying to eat a little healthier, like the weeks that we're doing that, I notice it's like easier to get up earlier and easier to like go throughout the day without feeling like I'm dragging. So
Mhm.
anytime I felt like, okay, maybe we should do this, or maybe we should do the whole 30, or maybe we should get into paleo, has been because I feel like we're kind of like I want my insides to be healthier.
Good. Yeah. Do you have any current medical issues? Any
No,
health concerns?
no.
Nothing. Okay. Good. So well, we've talked a little bit about it. So what you think would help you succeed, to make it easier to go paleo? If you were going to go paleo, what types of things are you looking for, I guess, to help you succeed?
Well, I think one of the main reasons I don't go paleo is, well, like the obvious, because I really like bread, and like that's like
Oreos.
everyone's go-to. Yeah, Oreos, and I don't like those gluten-free Oreos. Those are disgusting. But I think if like when we talk about like attempting to go paleo or attempting to like just live like a healthier lifestyle, one of our main things is so for instance, Tuesday is probably like our busiest day ever because from I have to get to work at like 6 a.m. and then I come home around 4:30 or 5. And then we have about an hour before we have to leave for worship practice. And worship practice is 2 hours. So we like it's just pretty like it's a long day. Like we're not gonna want to eat when we get home from worship practice. So like I will just throw like something together real quick. And typically it's not like the healthiest meal. Like it might be like something we pick up, like we might grab like fast food on the way to worship practice or something. So I think one of my biggest things is I don't feel like there's anything that I can just like really quickly just throw together in like, 30 minutes. Like, hey, throw this on and Brad, stand here and watch this cook really quick while I jump in the shower or something like that.
Yeah.
But and then there's like eating out I can never like I've like taken into consideration how much like we'll go out to dinner with friends after church or go out to dinner with friends like just for fun and stuff like that. And I always like I will consciously look at the menu and think if we were paleo right now, what will we be ordering? And it's really hard to like try and take into consideration like would we be able to go out as much as we do with our friends and that kind of stuff? Like, if we do, would we only be able to order like some kind of like little like vegetable appetizer or something like that?
Yeah. It's funny because when my husband and I go to restaurants and stuff now, we look at the menu and think, what would we get if we weren't paleo?
Yeah, I guess if you've been in the mindset for that for a long time, it would be the opposite way.
Yeah, good. So has your husband always been healthy? Has he always been, I mean, is he thin?
No.
Is
I mean,
he,
no, no, I didn't say no, he wasn't thin.
no,
He's not gonna hear this, right?
no?
No, he has not been healthy ever, I don't think. Um, he used to weigh he's like 6'2" or 6'3". And he used to weigh close to like 295 pounds when he was in high school. Which is a lot for him now, like looking at him now where he's like I don't know, like 190, like thinking about him being 100 pounds heavier is crazy.
Yeah.
But when we first met, he was really heavy, but the only reason he lost weight is because he started, like he worked for an HVAC company in the summertime and he just sweated it all out.
Hmm.
But
Interesting.
no, his family and him did not eat healthy at all. Like they're pretty much like, okay, we're making dinner on Sunday for like the whole family, and it's like Stouffer's mac and cheese or like one of those like Marie Calendar lasagnas and like that kind of stuff. Like a lot of like processed food that you just like throw in the oven and it cooks while everybody's doing something.
Right.
Um but I would say like within the past year or two, like when my husband and I tried Whole 30, it really like got his parents thinking about like health and everything and like watching what you're eating and that kind of stuff. And ever since then, like they've been more like into looking at what they're eating and like really taking into consideration what are we eating, what are we putting in our bodies and that kind of stuff. And it's just been cool to see like how his parents have just thought about that even though we failed Whole 30 miserably. It got all of us like thinking about, well, this is how we feel after only 3 days of not eating this stuff and not doing this. How would we feel if we completed the Whole 30 thing actually and that kind of stuff? But Brad really has a hard time with snacks. He's like a snack food junkie.
Yeah.
And he works for a pretzel company and he's around a lot of other vendors like tasty cake companies.
Oh,
And
jeez.
the other day he brought home 6 boxes of tasty cakes and tried to hide them in the cupboard so I couldn't see them. So no, he's more hesitant to try like paleo than I am. But with him, like because his job relies solely on him being like physically healthy, I think he's seeing more that he really does need to like consider doing something different. So
Yeah. So what do you think for him? Would he go paleo if, like, what kinds of things would help him go paleo?
if one of his friends went paleo.
Yeah.
No, I think for him, I think if we maybe like dessert paleo stuff, like so that he realizes like it's not going to be a life without sweets and stuff. Like I think when he thinks about paleo, he thinks about like the gross gluten-free like substitute snacks that he doesn't
Yeah.
or like he thinks about like he's obsessed with chocolate milk, and so he thinks like instantly in my head that I'm never gonna have chocolate milk again and all that stuff. So I think if we could like be able to see that there are like, you know, places you can eat out, and there are like things you can eat that are sweet and, you know, but are still like not harmful to your body, I think that would be something that would he would reconsider is, you know, if I do go paleo, I can still like have a snack and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Good. I think that's it. Any other thoughts on paleo? Something I haven't mentioned, or thoughts on what you'd like to see in the paleo market? Have you ever like researched paleo? I guess when you were doing the Whole30, you looked up recipes and stuff.
Yeah, I think when like I think strongly considering it and like seeing what it would be like for like in our future kind of like right now it would kind of be easier for us to go Whole 30, I think, or not Whole 30, paleo. I think it would be kind of easier for us to do that because it's just the two of us.
Right.
But I think my other concern would be I wouldn't know like what to do like kid wise. Like I think, you know, for someone who's only been around, well, you know, been around people who feed their kids the normal like American diet.
What
Um
kinds of things are you seeing as a nanny that you are feeding the kids?
like frozen chicken nuggets and like, you know, there's no like fresh fruit in the house and that kind of stuff. Oh, ow. Julia, get down. Sorry, my cat. Um
Cat mom.
I yeah. I there's just like no the family that I babysit for is like a full-time working family. And the mom will sometimes work on weekends and stuff, so dad is in charge of meals and stuff. So like their like meals and everything are like pretty much anything like instant from a box, like instant mashed potatoes, instant meatloaf, which I didn't even know that was a thing.
Instant meatloaf. I had no idea. Does it come out of a can?
Yeah, it's like a can and you like put it into a pan and then you
Wow.
sprinkle this like they're onions, like so they're like so processed that they're not gonna go bad.
Mm.
Like so I don't know what kind of stuff would have to be on an onion for to be able to keep it like, you know, good for you to eat in a bag. Like
Yeah.
so I mean that's just the kind of stuff that I worry about is going like going paleo. Like what if there was like a weekend where I like went away like with my friends or family or something like that and Brad was in charge of our kids? Like
Mhm.
I don't feel like there's any like I feel like when you're paleo, like my idea of paleo is like you have to know how to cook or you have to be able to understand like you can't just throw like frozen chicken nuggets into a, you know, from the like Tyson chicken nuggets into a bag and, you know, cook them. Like I would worry about like when we have kids and stuff and I would say, Brad, you need to cook dinner tonight because I'm going out or something like that. Like I would feel like if we were paleo, our children would just not eat anything or they'd have like a banana.
Yeah.
So I guess something I would look for is like the like paleo for the people who can't cook, like or people who can't like, you know, who aren't like master chefs and that kind of stuff, like for the average person, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
So like Rachel Ray's 30-minute meals and that kind of stuff where it like walks out like, you know, every little step you need to take.
Yeah.
So like a paleo like quick meals and that kind of stuff. And it
Yeah.
doesn't have to be like full on like, you know, dinners and stuff because I think that's where I find it hard is like lunchtime and like quick like I'm leaving for work and I only have 15 minutes for breakfast kind of thing.
Yeah. So they're
Like
kind of on the go.
yeah, and like lunchtime is hard for me, especially because my go-to for lunch is always like a sandwich or
Hmm.
something like that. So, you know, you obviously can't have the, you know, Wonder Bread. They don't
Yeah.
make gluten-free Wonder Bread, I don't think.
They don't. They don't. Yeah.
If they did, it wouldn't taste the same.
No.
So
No,
I
I've
think,
tried paleo bread. It's no good.
yeah, no, that gluten-free bread always looks so gross.
Yes.
But I think I think that's my concern, like, with going paleo, like, dinner time is, like, no problem for me, like, I feel
Yeah.
like I make a lot of paleo-approved dinners,
Yeah.
but, like, lunchtime and, like, we've had, like, morning breakfasts where I make, like, eggs and, breakfast meat and that kinda stuff or, like, fresh fruit, like, I can do breakfast like that.
Mhm.
But breakfast on the go, like, I want more than a banana. Like, my go-to for breakfast now is, oatmeal or something like that.
Yeah.
So, I guess stuff like that, like, like, I wanna know that if I go paleo, I'm gonna be able to, like, forget that I don't wanna have to set my alarm an hour earlier to make myself, a big, huge breakfast or, like, I'm on the go a lot with the girls I nanny for, and I wanna be able to just grab something from the fridge and go with them and that kinda stuff. I don't wanna have to say, "Oh, we have to, like, prepare lunch," like, that kinda stuff.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. That seems like a kind of a big thing right now in the paleo, with people who are nervous to go paleo. And I think when I started paleo, that was kind of the same for me. Um, I didn't think that paleo was a practical way to live because, it's called a diet. And so I didn't want to be on a diet for my whole life. And I didn't want to gain weight back because I couldn't succeed on a diet.
Right,
But the more I got into it, the more I found alternatives and things that worked for me and for my family. And now that I have kids, things that work for our kids too.
right,
Um, and I think part of that is not replacing. I think we just took bread out instead of replacing it with a gluten-free bread, which gluten-free and paleo, being paleo is gluten-free, but gluten-free is not paleo.
right,
Um, just not replacing bread and just finding, we'll do lettuce wraps and things like that. But
right.
yeah, it is hard eating out sometimes. We have our go-to places that we know we can get something besides, a piece of grilled chicken and vegetables that have nothing on them.
Yeah,
But I mean, I'm almost 5 years into it, so it is different. That's what it kind of helps me hearing other people talk about it, because sometimes when you're in it for so long, you forget the beginning and the basics of going paleo.
yeah. And I think like one of my girlfriends from work is she has celiac, so she and
Mm,
her daughter has celiacs and they went gluten free. But she is really interested in going paleo because she thinks that will help like some of their other like health issues they have like just in their family. Like she just thinks like a healthier lifestyle would be really good for them. They're dancers. All three of their daughters are really hardcore into dance, so they have a really active lifestyle and she would like to see it not just be active but be healthy as well.
mm.
And her number one concern with going
Oh, are you there? Oh, there you
she
go.
doesn't know sorry, I got a phone call.
Oh, it's okay.
Um, she doesn't know like what she would pack for lunch because they can't heat up stuff and because when you go to school you can't like heat it up in the microwave and that kind of stuff. So her thing
Hmm.
is always, what am I gonna pack my girls for lunch? And then what am I gonna pack them to take to dance class with them? So she has to pack 2 meals with them because they go to dance right after school.
Right.
So her thing is always like, what in the world would I pack them for lunch? And then what would I pack that's like a high protein, gonna be really good for them when they go to
Yeah,
dance.
something to keep their energy up.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
good. Perfect. All right. Well, I think that is all from my end right now. I'll definitely keep you posted on what I'm working on with my company, and hopefully it'll be something that benefits people who are interested in paleo but aren't exactly sure how to start or maintain a paleo lifestyle.
Right.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for your
Perfect.
time.
Yep. Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.